iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to another Thursday night of racing action. Tonight we got a good one on our hands as the iNascar series presented by PRA tries to tame the Lady in Black. We are at Darlington for race number one, for round number one of the playoffs. These guys are matching the Cup schedule, so these guys will try and see who will come out on top here at Darlington and move themselves into the next round. The drivers that are in the playoffs will have a green banner and a green spoiler on their cars to try and see who is out there. Tonight we'll go for 184 laps around this place, with the stage cautions coming at lap 46 and 82 tonight. As we jump here, we are in the middle of qualifying, so we'll go take a look, see who might be at the top of the boards. Right now, it's looking like the 114 of Brandon Fetter Place with a 29.39. We got Dan Jensen in second in that 17 machine. Vince Burns in the 55 in third. Fourth is Vernon Broadbeck, and fifth is Billy Hall. Looks like we got one car out here on track, and it's the 33 machine of Cody Stahl. We'll take a look at him out on track and see what kind of lap the 33 machine can do here as he goes down the backstretch for his first time lap. So far, 18 cars have taken a lap of the, I want to say 26 that are here tonight. The name of the game tonight will definitely be keeping these cars clean, keeping these cars off the wall, as well as keeping those tires underneath them, because this place is very fast for what it is, as well as a lot of banking. As lap number one, Corey Stahl goes to P number 4, so a very solid effort. We'll see if he can even better that lap here on his second one. As he heads off of turn number 4 for the final time here in qualifying, Corey Stahl will better that lap time and go all the way to pole. The 33 machine right now, provisional P1. Also on track, getting up to speed, is the 14 machine of Jeff Brogdon. We'll see what Jeff can do here in qualifying as he gets that 14 up to song. As that time by at the start-finish line will start his first time lap. We saw Corey Stahl go faster lap number 2, so we'll have to see what the game plan is for the 14 machine. We'll see if he's trying to get these tires up to temp or if he's letting that thing rip here as he heads down the backstretch. And you can already see, folks, you drive these two ends of this track very differently. That's one of the biggest challenges of this track is you got to know and hit your marks every single lap route. You could easily end up in that outside wall as close as these cars are running to, especially at these speeds here tonight. As Jeff, first lap, puts in P number 7 with a 29.67. Ties him with Dan Hughes there in 8th. As we see the 14 sailed into 3 for the final time, this time entering a little bit higher. Trying to drive that car down low and get a straight run off. I think this lap may be better. We'll see where he goes. He does not improve on his time, so Jeff will stay P number 7 as qualifying slowly starts to wrap up here. We get to the end of it. But folks, the night is just getting started, as of course we got 187 laps here tonight. And we will see who can move themselves to the next round of the playoffs, or if maybe we'll have an upset winner. We'll be sure to find out. Some race info from Darlington Raceway. We are at a 1.3 mile, very weird shaped speedway, as you can see there in the graphic, folks. These ends drive very differently. Tonight we're looking at a nice cool 77 degrees, partly cloudy with a little bit of wind. A little bit of more info about this series if you're looking to join it. They are, of course, called the iNascar Racing Series. You can find them on iRacing. Also, they have a Discord as well. They follow the Next Gen Cup schedule. They have Thursday nights, of course, as you can tell right here. Practice starts at 8:25, qualifying at 9, and then race starts right around 9:05. So if that sounds interesting, be sure to check them on out. Also got to give a huge shout out to their sponsors, of course, PRA. If you're looking for that sim and online community, be sure to check out PRA. They are big time in the PlayStation Network as well as here in iRacing, and a bunch of cool guys around, just shy of 200 members. So if that sounds interesting, be sure to check them on out. Also, if you're looking to bring that sim setup to that next level, be sure to check out Button Boxes as well as Butt Kicker. So that will wrap up qualifying. We watched him put it on pole. It's a 33 of Corey Stahl will start P number 1. And here in 1 minute, we'll go through tonight's starting order. Don't go anywhere, folks. As drivers get to their cars on pit lane, we'll wait. We have the pace truck out there, and we will start tonight's starting order. Starting on pole, we watch the lap. It's Corey Stahl in the 33 machine starting. To his outside, Brandon Fetterplace in the 114. Row number 2 will be made up of Dan Jensen in the 17. With it to his outside, Vince Burns in the 55. Rounding out the top 5 is the 10 machine of Vernon Broadbeck. 6 goes to Bill Hull in the 41. 7th, Jeff Brogdon in the 14. 8th is Dan Hughes in the 6. 9th, Travis Bennett in the 01. And rounding out the top 10, Paul Henley in the 22. 11th will go to Corey Schultz in the 16. Alfo Castillo in the 31 machine will start 12th. 13th goes to Philip Neese in the 038 machine. Joey Stats in the 1 will be 14th. 15th is Clark France in the 15. Very nice there, that lines up. 16th is Scott Thomas in the 79. 17th is Richard Mills in the 5. 18th is Josh Douglas in the 8. 19th is Matt Allen in the 127. Rounding out the top 20 is Nick Wing in the 99. 21st is Eric Jeffers in the 04. Jeffrey Vickers in the 20th will be 22nd. 23rd is Dylan Schultz in the 97. Shane Ledoux in the 51. 24th and starting shotgun on the field tonight, it is Zach Miller in the 38 machine. As the field is under power, making their way around. We have one car dropping to the back. probably due to a penalty from a previous race. So it looks like Travis Bennett, I believe, will be the driver dropping to the back as the lights are out on the iRacing Pace Truck. We are going green this time by this field, getting ready to do battle, of course, for 184 laps around this place. As we will wait for the 33 machine to fire on off here. He will probably wait till he has a good angle and lead us to green flag racing here for round number 1 of the playoffs here for the iNascar series presented by PRA. The 33 machine is waiting. Jumps on the loud pedal. Brandon Fetterplace with a better jump. I don't know if that's going to need to be reviewed or not, but Brandon Fetterplace able to get clear out in front. Corey Stahl will now get clear of Vince Burns for second. And this field already trying to sort themselves out. Trying not to go too. As we get an incident here early, it looks like the 16 machine of Cody Schultz is involved. So we will have to see what happened to bring out this yellow, as the 16 machine already big time into the wall. We'll go back maybe a little bit further and try and see what happened as the 16 machine gets on the difference of the banking, folks, and that thing just whips around with that left side weight, and man, he makes some hard contact and some other cars involved here as Corey Schultz in the 16 machine gets the worst end of the deal. That is a hard hit and a bummer for this early in the race. It looks like Cody is down pit road, so his night will probably come to a premature end with that lap 1 incident. So folks, that shows you how quickly these cars can step out from underneath you, how quickly your night can go from seeming okay to bad. As we got some cars also down pit road, probably repairing some damage. One is the 28 machine of Jeffrey Vickery, and then the other and then the other one is Nick Wing in that 99 machine. So both those cars down pit road, but the 16 most likely going to be out of this race early. We'll take a closer look at our leader right now. It is the 114 of Brandon Fetterplace, and that's the banner we're looking for these playoff drivers. You see that neon green PRA logo. That's what these playoff drivers have, as well as the neon green spoilers. So keep an eye out for those drivers tonight, as those guys are racing not only for the win, but for the championship as well. As they, of course, started the round of 16. So 16 drivers in the playoffs here. And then, of course, after 3 races after this, they will go down to 12 and keep on racing that format till they get to the final race, where 4 drivers will duke it out to see who is the best and claim the iNascar championship for this season. As the lights are extinguished on the iRacing Pace Truck, that means we are going green next time by. This time the front row switches, and already a little bit of switch up further on back. This time Brandon Fetterplace will lead us to green. We'll see if Corey Stahl maybe gets a better start on that top lane. Maybe that's where you want to restart. We will have to find out here in half a lap. As we see the iRacing Pace Truck dip down onto pit road, we'll now wait for the 114 machine to fire on off. As he jumps on the loud pedal here, we are back green flag racing here at Darlington. Brandon with a great restart over Corey. And Corey will take home. Send it in there, clean himself into P2, but we look a little bit further back here at some side-by-side races. Keep an eye on this pack here. This is very tough to navigate, especially here early in this race. As we see a little bit of smoke heading into turn number 3, it looks like everyone keeps it all right, but right now we look at the 15 machine and the 31 machine doing battle side by side, and that's an impressive feat here at Darlington, as it is not easy to navigate these corners side by side like this. As one car smacks the outside and inside wall, it looks like it's a 127 machine of Matt Allen, so maybe our first big playoff implication, as Matt Allen machine is very heavily damaged as it slows to a stop and brings out our second caution of the night here on lap number 7. So a tough break for that 127 machine. We'll take a look and see what happened to him as he heads off of turn number 2, and just gets a little bit too high, folks. Maybe that car got tight, and then heavy impact to that inside wall, and that car's going to need a lot of repairs, and that is a tough break for Matt here early in this race. He'll join the 16 machine on pit road with some pretty heavy damage. As we are back under yellow flag for the second time here tonight. Right now, a few more cars down on pit road. You gotta wonder if they're gonna top off on fuel, maybe playing a little bit of fuel strategy here early in this race. I say if you're in the back half of the field, why not? Why not try a little strategy? See if you can offset the leaders and whatnot. As folks, we'll try and dial up the 127 machine. I think he's been cleared from the infield care center. We'll see if he's got a copy with us. We'll try and talk to the 127 machine here. Hey Matt, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here. Heard you got cleared from the infield care center.
Yeah, I'm here. Unfortunately.
Yeah, a tough break for you early in this race, Matt. What kind of happened there? And man, this place is very tough.
We were battling for the back, just kind of hanging patient, and I saw an opening to kind of make a move, and it snapped around before I could gain control, and into the inside wall I went.
Yeah, it looked like some heavy damage for you, Matt. Are you trying to get that thing repaired and brought back out there, or is your night done very early?
No, I'm about 17 more seconds of towing. I still got my fast repair. So we're going to use it up today. I'd hate to use it this early in the race, but I'm not going to go away without trying to run these guys down and at least try to move up in these playoff standings.
Yeah, Matt, I appreciate the heads up. Yeah, you guys do have a fast repair. So what that means, folks watching at home, is Matt can reset his car, let's say, get a brand new one and try it again here. So yeah, that's at least a good thing, Matt, but I think you'll be a few laps down, so you're probably hoping for maybe a couple yellows here quickly and get back on the lead lap with some lucky dogs.
Yeah. We're rolling out right now with the brand new 127 Ford Mustang, so we're going to see what we can do as far as getting them back on the lead lap and put ourselves in contention for the end of the season.
Alrighty, well, awesome stuff, Matt. Looks like we just received one to go here, so I'll let you get back to it, and best of luck to you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Alrighty, folks. That was the driver of the 127 machine of Matt Allen. He's back out there, so after that heavy hit, he'll be back out there with a new car and going to try and get those 2 laps back that he went a lap down there. So these guys doing everything they can, of course, with this playoff. They know how important every position is, and of course, even more importantly, are these wins, as that locks you into the next round. Don't have to worry about point racing or anything crazy happening to your playoff run. As like I mentioned before, lights are out on the pace car. We are going green next time by. Still Brandon Feder placed out in front, leading us to the restart. Corey Stahl to his outside. Vince Burns and Bill Hall make up row number 2. As the iRacing pace truck drifts that thing down pit road. We'll wait for the 114 to fire on off and lead us back to green flag racing action here at Darlington for race number 1 of the playoffs. And it is the round of 16 as we are back green flag racing. So far the front of the field making it out safely, but we'll keep an eye back here as Vernon Rodbeck and Jeff Brogdon going side by side here through 1 and 2, and a little bit further back. Some cars getting pretty close to each other as we see them fan out down the backstretch. As we look at the one machine of Corey Stats, he's watching 2 cars go side by side in front of him. Not sure what lane he'll choose. The 6 machine of Dan Hughes didn't get a good run off that corner. He'll lose a spot, maybe even a couple more here as he gets strapped down on that bottom side. And you just hear the one machine playing with that throttle, trying to get that power down, but also not push that front end and put that car in the wall early in this race. But up front, Brandon Feder placed out in front, leading the way with about a half a second lead over Corey Stahl. Right now, the 10 machine of Vernon Brodbeck chasing down Vince Burns a little bit for Pete number 5. As Dan Hughes continues to slip down this field, folks, I think he's playing maybe a little bit of a conservative game, you know, letting these faster drivers burn up their stuff, and he'll wait for the long run and then try and use that tire advantage he's making over the rest of this field. As up front, Vince Burns has Vernon all over his back bumper here. Vernon with some very good runs off these corners as, oh, that time he had to lift though. Not able to make it stick. He'll lose a little bit of time to that 55 machine as we'll look at the right side here as he comes off of turn number 4. Make sure that right side looks all clean, and it does still, folks. So able to keep it off the wall and keep that thing going in the right direction. Joey Stats in the one has caught the back bumper of the DoorDash 31 machine. We'll see if he can make a move as they have the 038 of Philip Neese right in front of them as well. Stats is looking to the inside of Castillo, but he'll have to back on out of it. Did not get the position, so he'll have to try again. Try and get a big run and see if he can get around this 31 car. As that time by the 31 will let him go down the backstretch, and we'll see that a lot, especially early in the race. These drivers realizing a faster car's behind them, not willing to push these tires more than they are, so they'll let him by safely, which means down the straightaways at this place. May seem a little weird, but yeah, you'll pull down to the inside and let the faster car go around the top side, just because that's the safest way to make a pass. If you go side by side, you always risk wrecking either one of your cars, if not even more cars around this very tricky track. As we look at the battle unfolding here now for 9th, as Joey Stats trying to make it work. As a change for 2nd now, Jeff Brogdon from 7th on the starting grid up to 2nd and trying to chase down our race leader. Right now, Corey Stahl maybe using up a little bit too much of his stuff, or else really saving right now, but he is losing time to the cars in front of him. So we'll keep an eye on this 33 machine, as now he's got 4 cars right behind him, as he'll now maybe not quite let the 41 go by. They'll go side by side into one. The 33 machine will have the run off that top side and able to keep it, as we see one car big time sideways off the corner. I believe that was the 10 of Vernon. But you got to be careful by doing that one of getting that right rear high and then losing drive off these corners. But 2, also getting the wall and getting that damage to these cars, as a 17 machine of Dan Jensen's wrecking on the front stretch. The caution flag will be out. Will anyone else get him, or will he get away fairly clean? As some pretty significant right front damage to that car, but we'll have to see what happened, as looks like maybe the 04 machine also with an incident as he gets that thing up to speed. So we'll take a look and see what happened to Dan Jensen in that 17 machine. And folks, yeah, that rear end just stepped out from underneath him, tried to spend the whole turn 4 saving it, and gets it pretty righted, but not too much banking down there, and comes up to the track and collects the 038 machine. And here comes the 04 trying to miss, gets on the binders, and yeah, looks like loses the car as he continues to slide there and trying to save it down the whole front stretch here. I think just loses it right there, folks, and that's enough to send that 04 machine pretty heavy contact into the inside wall late in that yellow. So we'll see some more cars use up their fast repairs probably here, as we see the 17 limping that machine back to pit road. But this will be the 3rd caution of the night, and it looks like we got some pit stops, folks, as Brandon Fetterplace leads him down pit road. We will keep an eye on the pit road battle, folks, and see who will lead us off of pit road. We'll see if anyone has some tire strategy here, as I believe there's 5 or 6 set of tires. I believe it's 5 over the wall as we look at this field. Both sides going up on most of these cars. As Brandon Fetterplace will lead the race off of pit road, but we have a little bit of strategy up near the front of the field. The 6 and the 38 machine both stayed out on track. It looks like this time the 6 will bring it on down, and the 38, so that will cycle through the whole field and give back the race lead to Brandon Fetterplace. I believe that time by we had Matt Allen get the lucky dog there, so he will now only be 1 lap down and now fighting the 17 machine to get that next lucky dog. Now folks, the playoff picture is looking like this. Right now, in first with some bonus points is the 29 machine of Sean Jensky, who is not out here tonight, folks. So he will lose the points lead after tonight is said and done, but he still might be above the cutoff line. Second in points is the 10 machine of Vernon Broadbeck. Third in points is Jeffrey Brogdon, who is in the 4th position right now. Brandon Fetterplace, who's leading this race right now, is in 4th. 5th is Clark France in the 15 machine. 6th is the 79 of Scott Thomas. 7th is the 038 machine of Philip Neath. 8th is the 5 machine of Richard Mills. 9th is the 17 of Dan Jensen, who we saw get in that most recent yellow. So some more playoff drivers with some incidents. Rounding out the top 10 in points as they head into tonight's race was the 55 of Vince Burns. 11th is the 8 of Josh Douglas. 12th is the 127 of Matt Allen. And then here are the drivers currently sitting below the cutoff at the start of the points is the 6 machine of Dan Hughes, the 38 of Zach Miller, the 11 car of Ryan Dent, and the 99 of Nicholas Wing. So these guys got to finish better than the drivers I named before to try and get in the best spot they can for these playoffs. As the lights are extinguished once again on the iRacing Pace Truck, the 79 machine, folks, a little bit of strategy, no tires on that car, so we'll see how this field can navigate here. We'll keep an eye on him, but the 114 once again leading us to another green flag here. As we'll keep an eye on the 79 for any wheel spin. That's the one thing these drivers got to keep in the back of their head for these starts as they get away cleanly here. With the 79 under fire here from Vince Burns heading into turn number 1. Jeff Brogdon able to jump low as well. With the 79 holding his own, able to reclaim second as his field making their way through 1 and 2 here. It looks like fairly cleanly. One car in the wall. I think that's the 8 of Josh Douglas. It is, so he'll have a little bit of right side damage there. As the 14 of Jeff Brogdon able to get around Vince Burns, and Vince Burns loses another spot to the 33 machine. As the 10 able to clear the 55 as well. You gotta wonder if the 55 has some sort of issue, and it looks like he only took 2 tires or maybe just fuel, so we see the impact of old tires already for the 55 as he continues to drop through this field. As now the 15 of Clark France trying to make it around the 55, not able to get the run off the corner. The 55 will slide in here in P number 8. But up front, Brandon Fetterplace leading the way over Jeff Brogdon, Corey Stahl back up into 3rd, Vernon Broadbeck in 4th, and Scott Thomas hanging on to 5th, but under fire from the 41 machine. The 41 machine with those newer tires able to get around him on the inside. Now the 01 of Travis Bennett trying to get around the 79 here. Travis had to start at the back of this race. Already back up into 7th here, and it's not even lap 30. That time by the best lap of anyone out on track was put in by the 41 of Bill Hull. That 41 with a little bit of clean air in front of him, able to put down some pretty good laps as he's trying to catch the front pack. Jeff Brogdon able to eat into Brandon's lead here, about 2/10 separating 1st and 2nd right now. As the 114 gets a little bit loose there in turns 1 2 and gets the wall. He gets tapped as well, somehow keeping that car straight, but as he gets the inside wall as well, they will still stay green, and that's a big bummer for the 114 machine as he'll try and limp that thing to pit road, but he wrecked off the racing surface. They will stay green, but a tough break there. You saw him wiggle in 1 and 2 and then get that outside wall, not able to get the car where he needed it to on track. And now loses the race lead. And Jeff Brogdon did get the back bumper of the 114, so Corey Stahl reclaims the race lead after putting it on pole. He almost gets the wall there off of turn number 2, so that will be the spot where these drivers have to be super careful is 1 and 2 because you're carrying so much speed. You got to have that car exactly where you need it, or else you can have what happened to the 114 machine and get that outside wall. It is very easy to do, folks. That's because by that time you're already full throttle in the gas, so you're kind of along for the ride at that point. As we look a little bit further back, we got some battles here in the mid-pack. We got drivers still trying to get around the old tires of the 55 machine. As we see Vince from that restart started P number 4 all the way back to 15th position. So that shows you just how important these fresh Goodyear tires are. As now Jeff Brogdon under fire from the 10 machine of Vernon Broadbeck. Vernon has been reeling in this 14 machine with that damage, so he's going to try and see if he can get a run here off of turn number 2 right against the wall and try and look low down the backstretch. Also, something to keep in mind, the 114 is back, but he is a lap down compared to these drivers. Excuse me, 2 laps down, so he's going to try and get his lap back the hard way, as I assume he put fresh tires on that car, so we'll have to see how he can navigate through these front runners and see if he can get his lap back here. As we see the 79 also with that tire strategy here. He is, I'm not sure if he got the wall because he was pretty off the pace there in 1 and 2. And Matt Allen big time sideways off of turn number 2. Yeah, that 79 looking like he's struggling for grip out here as those tires are coming up to 40 laps old. I want to say the fuel window's right around 60 to 70 laps, folks, so the question is, what matters more? Does tires or maybe topping it off with fuel? I mean, the tires get worn away here so quickly. This track is so abrasive. As we see the 38 machine, of Zach Miller get on around the 79. And Eric Jeffers in that 04 machine, we saw him get in that last incident there, able to get a new car. He finds himself here in the top 5. The biggest mover of the race so far, up 16 positions, as he now tries to reel in that front pack, who has about 4 seconds over him at the moment. As, the 5 car of Richard Mills gets in the wall with the 15 machine right on his back bumper. Maybe the 15 able to push the 5 a little bit harder than he needs, but the 15 sends it into 3 and taps the wall there right at the apex. So both these guys making some mistakes with a car right on their tail. That's a recipe for a disaster because these cars fall so closely at these speeds that it is hard to even make a reaction, especially with how much these cars slow down when you hit the wall. As now we see the 1 of Joey Stats making a move on the 5. This would be the battle for 7th on track, as Joey able to make it stick. He'll get about around Richard there in 3. As up front, Corey Stahl able to get clear as the 114 of Brandon Fetterplace does unlap himself the hard way there, folks. So he will be another one of the 3 cars on the 1 lap down mark trying to race for the lucky dog. But Corey able to run away from Jeff Brogdon. He has about a second lead over second, who has about a half a second over third. The 4th place runner of Vernon has about 2 seconds over Eric Jeffers. So Eric is a man on a mission here, and he is catching the 10 machine. As it looks like the 79 machine may have gotten more into the wall there, so a very tough break for Scott Thomas, as this is not how he wanted his playoffs to start, as it looks like he's trying to bring that 79 machine back down pits, as it looks like we may have an incident on the front stretch here, and it looks like the 01 machine of Travis Bennett with the 17 of Dan Jensen. Not sure what happened. We'll try and find a replay of it here as we look at the PRA 01 machine off of turn number 4. He has the 28 right on his tail. It looks like, yeah, he just breaks traction off of 4, folks. Loses the back end, tries to save it. We see him down low. I wonder how the 17 of Dan Jensen enters this, as he is sideways as well. So Dan Jensen with his own issue as he heads off of turn number 4. We'll take a look now at the 17. As it looks like very similar to the 01 machine, just loses it right when you're straightening out the wheel, and a tough break there. But this will be the end of stage number 1, so Corey Stahl will get some points, and that will help. Sadly, he's not in the playoffs, so you know that helps some of the playoff drivers, but the 33 showing his speed here early as he does pick up stage number 1 win here tonight at Darlington. As after his pit stop, we'll have to see if we can get a word with the driver of the 33 machine. We'll see if he can get a copy, as a little bit off in his pit stall. That's going to slow down his pit stop big time, so we'll have to see if he can win the race off of pit road. As it looks like the answer will be no. The 14 machine does win the race off of pit road. And it looks like the 33 machine, we may not have a copy for him tonight. So we'll try and dial him up here as they get up to speed and catching the pace car. But we'll see if the 33 machine can get a copy here. Hey Corey, this is Brett J in the booth. You got a copy? Hey Corey, do you got a copy? Yeah, folks, it looks like we are not able to get a copy from the 33 machine for our stage 1 winner. But as they sit right now, it looks like the 14 of Jeff Brogdon will be the one leading us back to green flag racing. And folks, something else to keep in mind, especially as these drivers head down this backstretch, that is this sun glare down the back. We'll jump on board with the 14 machine just to see how bad this sun is. But yeah, these drivers trying to keep their sight on up as they haul down this backstretch, as they gotta wait for that sun to set behind those grandstands there. As that shows you just how bright it is. I tell you what, folks, it is 100 times brighter inside these race cars at that point. But yeah, the top 5 on this restart will look like the following. Jeff Brogdon in the 14 machine. Starting to his outside will be Bill Hall in the 41. Third place will be Joey Stats in the 1/4. Eric Jeffers in the 04. And rounding out the top 5 for this restart will be Corey Stahl in the 33. As I say right now, the car continued to be the biggest on the move is the 04 of Eric Jeffers. 2 people in the heartbreak position as they sit. But back on the lead lap is the 114 and the 17 machine. So don't count those guys out just yet, as there's still a lot of racing to be had. As the lights are extinguished on the iRacing pace track, we are going green this time by. as the 14 machine fires on off here. We are back green flag racing here at Darlington. Joey Stats looks to the inside of the 41, thinks better of it. They will single file out here at the front, but we'll keep an eye on some side-by-side battles. One being the 22 and the 31 as they get single filed on out down the backstretch. Looks like Vernon may have had an issue on pit road. He starts deep in this field on this restart, so may have got a penalty on pit road. We'll keep an eye on the 10 trying to get through this field. Right in front of him, we got some side-by-side races, but one car kind of falling in the wrong direction. It's the 38 machine of Zach Miller, who palps the outside wall pretty hard. He'll keep his car to the outside. Now allow drivers to get by cleanly, but that 38 machine was a pretty heavy right side contact there. As we look up a little bit further, the 31 machine getting passed by the 55. Now the 15 will try and look, as well as the 31 gets into the wall there into turn number 1. And most of the field will get by cleanly. We'll see if we can slap back in here as the 28 of Jeffrey Vickers looks to the inside down the backstretch. The 38 will sail it on into it, and they'll be door to door through 3 and 4. The 31 machine will now slot in there, but now will be under attack from the 8. Also a lot of personal best lap times being set by this top 5 here that time by as this track continues to cool on off and these drivers keep on using those fresh Goodyear tires. That time by the driver, we're looking at the 1 machine of Joey Stats sets the fastest race lap so far with a 29.35, so the 1 machine looking pretty sporty here in the middle of this race. As the 31 machine continues to fall with that damage, he now finds himself all the way back in Pete number 16. As it seems like the most of the field has single filed on out here trying to get some green flag laps run, get some strategy rocking and rolling, especially with saving tires, pushing, all of that fun stuff. As right now Jeff Brogdon slowly driving away from the 41 machine. The one I think is a little bit faster, but it is so hard to pass here, folks, as the 33 and the 04 now starts to enter this picture for second place. As we look a little bit deeper in the field, one battle heating up on track is the battle for 11, 12, and 13, with these 3 drivers maybe make it 4 if Vernon's falling on back, but looks like Travis Bennett able to get around the 8. The 8 will say, you got some better pace right now. No need to battle and tear up some race cars. You got it down the backstretch. But up front, folks, Joey Stats still all over the back bumper of that 41 machine. Right now, their pace is better than the leader. They are slowly reeling in the gap, so you got to wonder, is the 14 machine saving some tire right now that he has a little bit of a cushion? Or maybe he used up some tire trying to drive away. As we see the 97 machine of Dylan Schultz, a tough race for him here early as he gets back out on track in number 22. But the battle for second is on. Joey to the inside of Bill down the front stretch. This is the battle for second as they are almost touched down the front straightaway. The 14 machine able to carry that momentum on the top side. Now the one might be a little bit vulnerable to the 33, but gets a great run off of 2 there. And already back to the back bumper of the 41 machine. As this continues to be one of the closest battles out on track. As once again, the one of Joey looking to the inside. He'll sail it deep in there. Bill, will let on off, let him by, but that opens up the door for the 33 of Corey, but Corey not able with the run off the corner. So Joey able to complete the pass. He'll now try and chase down the race leader here. As now Bill will see some more pressure now from the 33 machine in his rearview mirror. As these guys are racing to lap number 82, that is when the second stage will end for these drivers. So these guys all trying to make it at least that far here on this run. As Corey with a little bit of an issue down the backstretch, maybe just got the wall, or for sure got very close to it, as that almost opened up the door for the 04 machine. That will give the 41 machine a little bit of breathing room, as he's keeping fairly decent pace with the one of Joey right now. So as one car trying to get around another, it's the 15 machine, as Vernon right behind him makes heavy contact with that outside wall. That car will have some significant right side damage. Now the 5 may have just got a little bit of the Darlington stripe as well there in 3 and 4. As folks, I think our Darlington stripe number is already pretty high, as we are 3rd through this race. I want to say there's at least probably around 10 and 10 different cars with some right side damage here as they continue to stay green flag racing. As now the 10 car loses the top 10 here to Travis Bennett. Travis just able to clear the 10, but not sliding up in front. Now he does, so Travis Bennett back inside the top 10 here, able to get around Vernon with that right side damage. And folks, depending on the hit, you know, a right side damage to these race cars can slow you about right around 2/10 a lap compared to a clean car. So that's why it is so important, especially here on iRacing, to keep your NASCAR as clean as possible, because you will lose a lot of time just due to some aerodynamic damage, as the 10 machine finds himself in the wall here once again. As a couple cars further on back down that line also getting into the wall. I think the 038 machine and the 114 now with a little bit of right side damage. But up front, still leading the way, it is the 14 of Jeff Brogdon. Coming into tonight, he was sitting 3rd in points, as Corey Stats with a bit of an issue. May have got super loose off of turn number 2. I don't think he got the wall, but he will lose 2nd and maybe even 3rd here, as the 33 of Corey Stahl tries to make it work. Gets big time sideways. They somehow don't make contact, but wow, that was close. As we see the 98, who is a lap down on fresher tires, get on around, but man, that could have been very bad for both of those drivers. But I was saying, as of right now, Jeff Brogdon sits P number 3 in points, but our points leader not here. And Vernon, we saw with that wall hit, falling deeper and deeper into this field. So right now the 14 sitting pretty here as we start to approach the end of stage number 2. Oh man, as we have an issue from the 1 car running in second, the 97 trying to get on around him, and the 1 makes heavy contact to that right side wall. He'll now throw that thing down pit road, try and lose as little time as he can, but some pretty significant contact there for the 1, and he brings it down pit road here. As Corey Stahl will reclaim P number 2 as they run with Eric Jeffers right on his tail. Also Paul Henley in that 22 machine also catching these guys as well. Same with the 55 of Vince Burns. So these guys may be trying to throw their hat in the mix here for second on back. As we got a ride on board here with the 22 machine just to see what it's like a lap around Darlington. See how much concentration every corner matters. As you see right there, folks, 22 gets a piece of that wall, and just how easily that can happen. You see instantly already losing some traction off that right rear just by putting that little bit extra wheel to get that car off that wall. So shows you just how tough it is. As you hear every lap these drivers playing with that throttle, playing with that brake, trying to keep these cars on the edge but not push it over and hit that wall, or even worse, maybe lose control of the race car and end up having to go do a backup. As we go back up to the front of the field, and oh, 1 car heavy into the wall. I believe that's the 33 machine of Corey Stahl, and that thing is heavily damaged. As you see, that right front already disconnected. So big time incident for that 33 machine, and that might bring his night to a premature end as he's able to get that thing off the track, and we stay green flag. But a tough break as he was running in the 3rd position there. So as we'll try and see what happened, as he has already hit the outside wall heavily to that 33 machine, and you just see how much damage it did to that car. As I hear some signs of some green flag pit stops, it's our leader, Jeff Brogdon, brings it down pit road, this time by in just 6 laps short of the end of the stage. You gotta wonder if it's some strategy, or if he truly is out of fuel, or maybe used up all those tires. As we see the 04 machine of Eric Jeffers big time sideways off of turn number 4. As these cars are losing grip here in a hurry, that is being shown here. Right now our leader is the 41 of Bill Hall. He brings it down pit road, so the 04 machine of Eric Jeffers stays on out. He will claim the race lead and lead a lap here. But you can see he's struggling with traction off that right rear. As that time by brought a big group of cars down pit road. The 41, 114, the 5, the 038, and the 31 all down pit road. As this time by the 04 of Eric Jeffers will bring it down pit road. The question is, did anyone try and save any fuel? Did anyone maybe pit with one to go? As it doesn't look like the case, it looks like the rest of the field bringing it on down. But Jeff Vickery stays on out, so the 28 machine will lead this lap as he continues to stay out on track. He will try and push it for another 4 laps or so. The question is, does he have enough to make the distance? As it looks like he will stay out for another lap, so looks like the 28, 99, 38 all have not pitted yet. As when this cycles on out, the one machine of Joey Stats, we saw him get into that wall pretty heavily with right behind that lap car. So once it cycles on through, he may be the race leader. So that may have worked out for the better. Of course, had to use a fast repair, which you never want to do before halfway, but he might come out of this halfway decent, but will pit right at the stage caution, so we'll lose some track position, but be on fresher tires. So as the 28 machine still out on track, so Jeff Vickery, current race leader here as we come to an end of stage number 2, as the 31 catching him very quickly on new tires. Will probably let him by here in 3 and 4. The 31 here gets on out of it, and we'll try and set him up for a pass now down the front stretch, as he will do just that as we get to lap number 81. So it looks like Jeff might be able to get it, as I think I may have heard him. He might be coming down pit road this time, so it'll be just 1 lap short, as the 99 of Nick Wing also down pit road. Same with the 38 of Zach Miller. As yeah, folks, that is the case. The 28 machine down pit road, so that will hand over the race lead to Joey Stats. If he can hold off the 14 machine, who is about 2 seconds back, he should be able to. So even with that incident, we might be talking to the 1 here in a minute. As this time off of turn number 4, Joey Stats will see the green and white flag. He will pick up stage number 2 win. As any second we should see the yellow come on out as he puts the 17 machine a lap down. Maybe my notes are mistaking me. Maybe it's not quite 82, so we'll keep an eye on it, see when this stage may end. But Jeff Brogdon catching the back bumper of the 1 car very rapidly, now within about a second of each other. See the 28 machine right in front of our race leader. He's going to try and stay on the lead lap as long as he can here. He does have fresher tires than our race leader, but can he keep the pace as they look to put the 97 machine another lap down here? And now Jeff within half a second of the race lead, now down to 3:10. So that 14 machine on about 7-lap newer tires, able to close the gap here very rapidly. And just show you how important tires are, even if they're only just a handful of laps newer. Jeff now able to close the gap to about 2 car lengths. So now the 14 will try and set up a run on the one, get at least side by side with him, and I assume the one will let him on by. Knows this isn't a battle he needs to be battling at this stage in the race. Even though it is for the race lead with the tire difference and whatnot, it's just not the right time to try and tear up some race cars. We see the one get big time sideways off the corner. He's able to keep that thing straight and off the wall, and now will hand the race lead over to the 14 of Jeff Brogdon. Joey now slides into P number 2. We'll try and keep that car underneath him, cool off that right rear, because I know that thing is hot after sliding that much off of turn number 4. So with Jeff Brogdon leading the way, you know, he's having a great run, but some tough luck here early in the playoffs will be for the 6th car of Dan Hughes. He finds himself in the 23rd position. Also Matt Allen down there in 21st. Also the 17 machine of Dan Jensen in 17th. Zach Miller in the 38. And Scott Thomas in the 79. All with some tough outings here for their playoff run. But a lot of those drivers are only 1 lap down, so you know, if they can time the caution right, stay on out, or have maybe get the lucky dog, you know, they could turn their race around very quickly. As we look here, a battle for our 5th position. It's a 22 machine of Paul Henley getting around the 15 of Clark France. Also a little bit further back, Travis Bennett trying to work over Vernon Broadbeck in the 10 machine. This is now the battle for 7th, as the 22 able to clear the 15 will find himself running in the P5 position here as night continues to fall over the Lady in Black. As the 01 machine able to clear the 10, he will pick up P number 7. A little bit further back, we got Nick Wing getting around the 55 of Vince Burns, and Vince Burns hits the outside wall. That will slow down that car and really kill his run off that corner. But a little bit further back, a battle for 4th place is heating on up. Paul Henley gets on around, and we get a yellow flag here, folks. We'll have to see what brought it on out, but so far it looks like everyone rolling on the speedway, so that may have been the stage caution, folks, as yeah, not seeing any issue with that. So I believe that is the stage 2 caution, and it will go to Jeff Brogdon in the 14 machine. Joey Stats in 2nd. 3rd is Eric Jeffers. 4th is Paul Henley. And Bill Hall in the 41 will round out the top 5 finishing order for stage number 2. So we will let the 14 come down, do his pit stuff, won't distract him there, but after that we'll try and dial up the driver of this Tabasco number 14 machine. Keep an eye on the end of pit lane as everyone is coming down pit road way in there in the distance. As Jeff Brogdon will have a huge advantage down pit road. Joey pretty much came to a stop on entrance there, so not sure if he had an issue or just really trying to not hit pit road speed, but Jeff can have an alright pit stop and still come out with the race lead here. As the 14 machine will win the race off of pit road, and we'll try and dial up the driver of the stage number 2 win, that being the 14 machine of Jeff Brogdon. Hey Jeff, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet here in the booth. Hey Jeff, it's Brett the Jet in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Alrighty, man. Glad to hear from you. How is this 14 machine? You picked up stage number 2 win here tonight for race number 1 of the playoffs.
Oh, it's running pretty good. Found my groove. Pitted at the right time. So the strategy worked out pretty well, too.
Alrighty, Jeff. I gotta ask. I know a lot of people have used it up. This is a very tricky track. Do you still have a fast repair left for this 14 machine here?
Heck yeah, I do.
Alrighty, awesome news there. So, you know, you still got another chance in case a mistake or something crazy happens. But here on out, you're gonna, I believe, come around to be the leading us to green flag race in action again. What's kind of the game plan for the rest of this race? As I know tires are a big key here tonight for doing well.
Yeah, they are. I'm hoping for a couple of long runs, but if they don't, then I'll have to save some tires and make a call if a yellow comes out. So.
Alrighty, and those are always tough, especially when you're leading them to pit road, because you know some people are going to do the opposite of what you do. But I believe here, Jeff, I think you'll begin 1 to go this time by, so I'll let you get back to it and get focused, and best of luck to you in the second half of this run.
Thank you, buddy. I hope to talk to you at the end of the race.
Alrighty, folks, that was the 14 machine of Jeff Brogdon able to pick up that stage number 2 win, and it looks like actually Bill Hall will be leading us to a green flag here. A little bit of strategy by him. He did not take any tires, so that's how he won the race off the pit road. So Bill Hall will be leading us to green flag, but Jeff Brogdon will be the furthest car up front on 4 fresh tires. So we'll have to see how they navigate turn number 1 here as they get ready to do battle for the second half of this race. As we wait for the 14 machine to fire on off. As the 14 waits for a while, we get the green flag. We are back racing as the 1 machine gets big time tire spin down low. That will check up that inside line. It looks like everyone gets away cleanly, but Bill able to clear the 14 into turn number 1. But we'll see how long he can hold on with those old tires underneath that car. As some cars into the wall down the backstretch, it looks like everyone at least keeps it facing in the right direction. We stay green, but up front, alrighty, here comes the 14 machine looking down low, down in turn number 3 and 4. He won't get the run off the corner. He'll slide back in and push that 41 machine down the front stretch. Also right behind them as well is the 04 machine of Eric Jeffers. As, one car big time into the wall. I think that's Vernon Broadbeck. It is. It's the 10 Mike's Harder Lemonade machine. big time contact to the outside wall, so that is not what he wanted to see early into this long run, because if we don't get a yellow, folks, this will go to the end of the race. And it looks like the 14 machine is trying to set up just for the perfect pass on the 41 machine. You know, not going to push the envelope. He knows he has the tire advantage, as the 1 machine of Joey Stats also catching this group as well. After that initial big time tire spin on that start, he's able to back it on down to Jeff Brogdon into the outside wall here in 3 and 4. He'll lose some positions, and most importantly, folks, he'll get some right side damage and his Darlington stripes. So not what the 14 machine, who we just talked to, wanted to see here early into this run. That moves the 04 machine of Eric Jeffords all the way up into P number 2. He's up a whopping 19 positions. If he can get around the 41 machine, that'll move him up 20 positions from where he started tonight's race. As he is definitely catching our race leader on those older tires. He gets a big run, looks to the inside, thinks better of it. And he'll try and set him up here as they head off at turn number 2, I bet, and down the backstretch. As the 04 machine will look to the bottom of 3 and 4. He'll have the shorter way around, but the problem will be getting the run off this corner as the 41 gets big time sideways down on the outside. Keeps it off both the 04 and the wall, but that will probably let Eric Jeffords clear him and take the race lead. So new race leader, the 04 machine, out there in front. Now Bill Hall under fire from the 1 machine and the 14 here. It looks like 2 cars into the wall down the backstretch, one being the 17, I think the other being the 99. As we get a yellow flag here around mid-pack, it looks like the 8 machine of Josh Douglas in the playoffs with a bad break there. So he is facing the wrong way on the speedway here off the turn number 4. And we'll take a look at the replay and see what happened to bring out caution number 6 tonight. As we look at the 8 machine through 3 and 4, and oh man, might be an innocent bystander. Looks like the 5 machine of Richard Mills out of shape in front of him, nowhere to go, tries to keep it off him, ends up making contact, and oh, the 17 machine hits the back of the 8 and sends him into that outside wall. So all corners of that 8 car are damaged after that one, and a little bit of strategy as we see a good chunk of the field down pit road, one of them being the 14, the 41, and it's about a split strategy here with the top 2 staying on out and a few of the guys in the mid-pack staying out as well. So this restart's about to get interesting. As I'll be right back, and I'll throw 2 commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
As we are back here at the Darlington Raceway for the iNascar Series playoffs. It is the round of 16 with race number 1 being held here. Also, we got to shout out the sponsors here that makes this league happen. Of course, the big one being PRA. If you're looking for that online community that is pretty car oriented, pretty chill, definitely check out PRA. As well as if you're looking to take your sim setup to the next level, be sure to check out RS Button Boxes as well as Butt Kicker, as this field gets all lined up And it looks like the car on newest tires in this field is the 114 of Brandon Fetterplace. We saw him with that early incident with that heavy contact to that inside wall. Already back up into the top 5 and now finds himself the first car on fresh tires. So we'll have to see what he can do. As this time by at the start-finish line, we'll get ready to re-rack them, restack them, double file it on up, and have the lights get extinguished on the iRacing Pace truck. There's still some issues here with the timing and scoring, so these drivers trying to get it sorted on out. But one car on this restart we'll have to watch is our 4th place restarter of Brandon Fetterplace. He's on fresh Goodyear rubber. As now the field is all sorted on out, we got them double filed here, and next time by we'll be back to green flag racing action. Either of these cars, any of the cars in actually the top 3 are not in the playoffs as they sit, so some interesting implication, because any of these guys can kind of come and spoil the race, let's say, and prevent someone from locking themselves in here early. So all these drivers keeping all that in mind, running all sorts of scenarios in their head. Luckily it's only race number 1 of this round, but that's only going to continue to ramp up as these playoffs continue to go deeper and deeper. As we'll now wait for the iRacing Pace truck to drift it down to pit road. And now we'll wait for the 04 machine of Eric Jeffers to lead us back to green flag racing action. He will wait on it, get a straight run, and he'll jump on it here, and we are back to racing here. Eric able to clear himself into one. Joey Stats with a little bit slow of a start. Travis Bennett able to slide into second. Now Vernon Broadbeck able to get around Brandon Fetterplace for that 4th position. It looks like one car into the wall, maybe been the 41 machine of Bill Hall around there in mid-pack. Alright, around this mid-pack here, as it is pretty hectic as they run here, trying to get as much position as they can with these fresh tires. As Joey Stats all over the back bumper of Travis Bennett here for 2nd place. This is what Eric Jeffers wants to see out front. He wants to see these guys battle, hold up that train of fresh tires cars behind him. As a little bit further back, we got a battle for 7th on our hand. The 22 down low, the 15 up top. These guys still going side by side. And then, folks, it might be that point of the race to maybe say, hey, not too many more freebies left. If you want to try and get around me, you got to do it the hard way. As Joey Stats able to get around the 01 machine of Travis Bennett, brings along Vernon Broadbeck in that 10 machine. So Vernon up to P number 3 as they run. as one car hard into the outside wall down the straightaway. I believe it's the 8 machine of Josh Douglas. Popped that outside wall right off of turn number 2. The typical very tough spot here tonight, as we've seen over and over. A little bit further back, we got Bill Hall getting around the 5 of Richard Mills. As one car big time sideways. It's Zach Miller, who's getting 3 wide down the backstretch. He had to jump out of the throttle. That allows 2 guys to get on by the 17 and the 79. As that could have been a lot worse than it was, with the 13 machine falling like a rock, probably with a little bit of damage, as well as just trying to get back up to pace and into that preferred groove. Up front in this pack, Eric Jeffers with about a 1.5 second gap over second, but Vernon applying the pressure to the back bumper of that one machine. The one as well of Travis Bennett hanging strong there in 4th. As we saw Zach Miller continue to fall, he has fallen all the way back to the last car on the lead lap as they run. But same with the 8 as well, with that heavy wall contact. So both those guys having a tough run right now, hoping for a yellow to try and repair some of that damage and gain back some time they may have lost. But Brandon Fetterplace looking to the inside of the 04 machine. This is the battle for 4th on track. As Brandon able to clear himself off of turn number 4, so he will slide himself into P number 4. Travis will fall back to 5th. One car almost gets the wall. It's the 038 of Philip Neese. That will kill his run though and let Bill Hall in the 41 get on around him. So now the 41 machine sets his sights on the 15 of Clark Friends. As a little bit of contact for the battle for 8th. Clark Friends maybe got a piece of the right rear, not sure who moved to, but definitely some contact, and the 15 machine finds himself in the outside wall and now all the way back into P number 10 as he also loses the spot to Philip Neese for 9. As contact down the backstretch, the 31 machine involved. And I believe it may have been the 99 as well of Nick Wing. Yes, it is another playoff driver involved in an incident. We'll have to see what happened to the 31 and the 99. 31 already way up on the racetrack. So we'll keep an eye, see what happens off of the tight turn number 2. And looks like, yeah, that's a tough one. But I think the 99 didn't give the 31 enough space. And they make contact and heavy contact to the inside wall for that 31 machine. He's definitely going to have to use a fast repair if he has any left on over. As the 99 gets away fairly cleanly. Could have been a lot worse for that wreck as we see the field coming on down for pit road for another time here tonight. As I'll throw it to commercial break and be right back on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
As we are back here at Darlington Raceway, right now it looks like Joey Stats may have won the race off of pit road, so it looks like the one will restart as the race leader here, as he has some wave around cars in front of him as they run. This time by, we see the lights get extinguished on the top of the iRacing pace truck. We are going green next time by, being led by Joey Stats. Eric Jeffers will start in the P number 2 position. Brandon Fetter plays all the way back up into P number 3. Jeff Vickery in 4th. And rounding out the top 5 as they run is Vernon Broadbeck. All of these guys on the same tire strategy, pitted on the same lap, so everyone's going to have pretty equal cars, besides of course if one car has some damage. So we'll have to see how this field sorts themselves out here as we can continue to get deeper into this race. We'll start to see less and less give and take here as we're approaching the final 50 laps, as we wait for the iRacing pace truck to make that hard left-hand turn. It does that, so now we wait for the one to bring us back to green flag racing action. Here on lap 123, the one machine jumps on it. We are back racing. Eric Jeffers not with the best start. He'll be under fire from Brandon Fetter place. We'll ride on board with Jeffrey Rickey, see if they can navigate themselves. They make contact, somehow keep it straight, but Jeff Vickery backed out of it big time, thinking something was going to happen. One car hard in the wall. That is Travis Bennett in that 01 machine off of turn number 2. So you see it happen every single restart, but that time the victim was the 01 machine getting some pretty heavy contact to the wall off of turn number 2 there. As it doesn't seem to be slowing him on down, he's able to get around the 28 there, so Travis will find himself back in the top 5. It looks like the 28 machine might be headed in the wrong direction. As Philip Neese also trying to work over the 22 of Paul Henley. Paul will jump out of the throttle there and try and slide into P number 9, but Josh Douglas also trying to make it move, not able to make it stick, but right behind them, Jeff Brogdon trying to get his way back into the top 10 here. as the 8 machine of Josh Douglas finds himself into the wall there in turn number 1. He'll lose a handful of spots just in that corner alone as he tries to get that thing wound back up and back up to speed here before losing too many more spots as they go 3 wide back to 2 wide here into turn number 3 and 4. As up front, we got a battle for the race lead here. It's a 3-car battle right on top of each other as we see Eric Jeffers look to the inside of the 1 machine here in 3 and 4. We'll keep our eyes glued on this battle for this lead as Vernon Broadbeck also trying to catch these leaders, and I think he is there in 4th. Keep our eyes on this. Also a pretty good battle right around the mid-pack from 10th to 13th. Those cars all on top of each other as well as Eric gets a pretty good run down the backstretch, but not enough. He'll be right on the back bumper of Joey heading into 3 here. And you see Eric kind of jumping, trying different lanes than the race leader. That's because he's trying to get out of the dirty air behind the 1 car. Luckily, compared to last year, these cars are less affected by the dirty air, but here with such high speeds, it definitely affects the handling of the car. As Eric will look to the inside, heading into 3, think better of it, but lets Joey for sure know in his mirror that, hey, I'm right there on your bumper. If you make a mistake, I'm going to try and take advantage of it as Brandon Feder plays big time loose off of turn number 4. That may start to open the door for Vernon to try and take over 3rd position. And this is how close it is for the race lead here. Just about a car length difference. As we look at that battle continuing to happen around the mid-pack, right there with the 5, 28, 15, and 79, all these drivers, some of the closest battling on track here. As the 15 now looks to the inside of the 28 as they head into turn number 3. He'll be able to clear himself, give P number 11 to the 15. Now the question is, can the 79 do the same here? This time by at the start finish line, we have 50 laps to go around the place that is too tough to tame. As just as we say that, we get a yellow flag. It looks like the 17 machine of Dan Jensen facing the wrong way here. We'll take a look and see what happened to the 17 DeWalt machine off of turn number 4. And it looks like, oh, he just got that transition and banking a little bit too much with that left rear. Makes pretty significant contact with that outside wall. That car is going to be pretty damaged for him, as he'll probably take that thing to pit side. We saw him already in an earlier incident, so he probably doesn't have a fast repair, so he's going to have to try and see what the crew can do to get that thing back out on track. as pit road does not, as is open this time by, and we got some split decisions. Once again, the top two stays on out. Third, fourth, and fifth all down pit road. Looks like sixth of Bill Hall stays on out. Same with the 22 and the 14 machine, trying to get some track position. But another split decision, folks, with about the top 6 or 7 staying on out, with the rest of the field on the lead lap coming on down and filling their cars up with fuel, as well as getting some tires. Now the question is, folks, can they make it to the end? As I want to say no, because we had to pit from, I want to say, right around lap 50 or 60. So I think everyone still has to make at least one more stop, even with pitting on this lap. As we are under the 8th caution here tonight, the 6th being an incident because we had our 2 stage breaks. The first stage being picked up by the 33 machine of Corey Stahl. The second stage being picked up by the driver we're looking at here, Jeff Brogdon, currently finding himself in P number 5 with this current kind of pit strategy. Their first car on fresh tires from that pit cycle is the 114 machine of Brandon Fetterplace. Looks like he'll be restarting right around in the 8th position, so he will have to do a little bit of work, but we'll have about 16 lap newer tires, so definitely will have a huge tire advantage compared to the cars in front of him. As once again, we get the signal for 1 lap to go back to green flag racing, so we'll get the field re-racked and restacked right about 16 or 17 cars finding themselves on the lead lap as they run. As still everyone in the top 3 still not in the playoffs as they run, so we could have no one lock themselves in here early in this first race of the round of 16. As the pace truck heads down pit road, we'll wait for the one of Joey Stats to fire on off, bring us back to green flag racing here on lap 140. As the 1 car jumps on it, we are back to racing here. Looks like the 04 machine of Eric Jeffers able to clear the 41 as they head into 1. They'll be single file for the top 5, but further on back, we got Brandon Fetterplace trying to get some opening here with those fresh tires. He's able to clear the 38, and now we'll try and make the move on the 5 as the 38 machine falling back here quickly. He may have some sort of issue or knows, hey, it's not worth it to tear up a race car. We still got 40 laps to go around this place. As we get side-by-side racing action here, heading into turn number 1. We got the 01 of Travis Bennett to the outside of the 038 of Philip Neese. back. One car may be in trouble. It's the 55 of Vince Burns, finding himself losing the position to the 79 of Scott Thomas. Now Scott Thomas will try and set his sights on the 28 machine of Jeff Vickery right in front of him. As it looks like the 5 of Richard Mills losing a couple spots this lap. He lost the spot to the 114. Now under fire from the 15 as they head side by side into turn number 1 and head to the trickiest part of the track to do side by side right here off of turn number 2. As the 15 will kind of breathe the throttle, let him recorrect it, but the 5 machine gets into the wall big time. That will check it on up and stack up the pack right here. They are a wad of 5 cars. As the 5 gets in the wall again, they're 3 wide here off of turn number 4. They'll double file on out, but the 5 car has made heavy contact with the wall a couple of times in these last couple of laps. That car is going to be off the pace as now the 10 gets in the wall, and everyone in this pack here with this dirty air can't stay off the wall. As one car goes around, it's the 038 machine of Philip Neese. He keeps it somehow off that inside wall. A heck of a save by him, so he keeps the damage to a minimum. As we take a look to see what happened, he has the 01 of Travis Bennett to his outside, and coming off of turn number 2, it looks like, yeah, that's a tough call there. They both ran out of real estate as the 038 tries to keep as much momentum but somehow keeps it off that inside wall. And of course, what fully sent him on around was a little bit of contact from the 79, so 79 might have a little bit of nose damage from that as well. As we are back inside of 40 laps to go. We're going to throw it to commercial break and be back right on the other side. Don't go anywhere as things are going to continue to heat on up as we got more pit strategy to be had.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
We are back here at Darlington Raceway as we head to the closing stages of this race. We are inside of 40 laps to go, so we will continue to see even less give and take. But up front, Joey Stats continues to lead the way. Jeff Brogdon now finds himself in the P2 spot. The first car that pitted there was Eric Jeffers in that 04 machine. He will find himself restarting in the 11th position when it's all said and done. So we'll keep an eye on that Menards 04 machine to see where he can end on up with those fresh tires. But up front, we get them ready to go back to racing action. We'll double file up the field. And once again, being led by the one machine of Joey Stats. As the field gets ready to go back to racing action, folks, Joey Stats will be the control car on the restart. But we got to keep an eye on that bright yellow and blue machine. He's the car on freshest tires. Also, these front two are for sure on the oldest tires out there. The driver in third, Brandon Feder, placed about 16 lap newer tires. As we jump on it and get back to racing action, the 14 machine with a little bit of wheel spin on that start, that might let Brandon Feder place get the advantage, and it does head in 1 and 2. So Brandon Feder place now has a chance to reel in this race leader as everyone navigates 1 and 2 safely. As this field mostly single file as they run a little bit of side-by-side action deeper in this field as the 41 machine gets to the outside of the 8 here down the front stretch, and a little bit further back we got some battles here. As the 28 of Jeff Vickery gets in the outside wall, the 38 of Zach Miller spins on around. No yellow flag. We stay green flag race in action as he gets that thing back up to speed. So no yellow at the moment, as now we see Eric Jeffers trying to drive through this field, the 55 right on the back bumper of the 5 car heading into turn number 1. Let's see if these guys can make it through here safely as the 5 into the outside wall. Everyone will try and scatter. They at least keep it facing the right direction here. Well, that will give the 5 some pretty heavy right side damage and slow down the speed of that race car. But up front, Brandon Feder place reeling in this race leader within 2/10 of him off of turn number 2. Oh, our leader Joey gets a little bit sideways down off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. As Joey is very consistent running that kind of middle line into the corner and then running that low line on exit. As Eric Jeffers trying to get P number 7 already in this run from that number 79 machine. As the 79 gets in the wall there but keeps his momentum, keeps his foot in it. As I know Eric Jeffers wants to get around him as quickly as he can, get in that clean air, but more importantly, keep on running down those cars in front of him. As you see just how much speed that 04 machine has in the middle of 3 and 4 there. As he now looks to the inside of the 79 as they head into turn number 1. They go side by side through it. The 79 gets the wall, and the 04 just clears him there in the middle of the corner. The 79 may have a run down this backstretch though, as he's right on the deck lid heading into 3. Brandon Feder place kind of falling off from our race leader a little bit. Not sure what happened, if anything did. But about 3/10 now as Jeff Brogdon loses P number 3 to Vernon Broadbeck on those fresher tires. So I know the 14 machine hoping to see this thing probably have a couple more yellows. Almost contact between the 01 and the 15. Then the 01 big time sideways off the corner. The 04 of Eric Jeffers has to jump out of it and lose a spot because of it. So the 04 machine gonna have to make a decision here quickly what lane he wants to go to try and get around these cars in front of him. Right now they're side by side. He has nowhere to go. As a 79 gets a big run, just slides down in front of the front bumper of the 04 machine. You can't time it any closer than that. Some cars sideways off of 2. As it looks like an issue for the 17 machine. He gets it back up to speed though, so we still stay green flag racing. As this battle here continues to heat on up. Now the 79 trying to get around the 15 machine who puts it in the wall. Eric Jeffers around the 01 machine. As now, contact and spinning in front of some cars. It's a 79 machine. And I want to say it was the 79. And the 15, excuse me. Took me a minute to figure on out, but we try and see what happened as they definitely ran out of room. Tough call there to make, but yeah, the 79 and the 15 both involved, and both will come out with some damage here. As now, if you're Joey Stats, you know you got no buffer, 2 cars on about 15 lap fresher tires than you. If I'm the 14, I know I'm coming in this time. The question is, who else will come on in? As now the one of Joey Stats brings it on down. Same with the rest of the field, so it looks like everyone's cycling on about with the same strategy here. So as we will put it on the pit lane cam and see who can win the race off of pit road, as we now are inside of 30 to go. So these start to become the money pit stops, trying to get as much advantage as you can because track position is so important to a place like here at Darlington. As it looks like a little bit of strategy from some of these drivers. Bill Hull wins the race off of pit road. Eric Jeffers in second. And it looks like Joey Stats, Brandon Feder place, Vernon Broadbeck, Jeff Brogdon, Travis Bennett, Vince Burns, Clark France, and Josh Douglas rounds out the top 10 off of pit road. So some shake up here, and of course, even more noteworthy, some big time strategy as these drivers either took just fuel or only right side tires or left side. So some strategy being had. These front row on none or 2, but the rest of the field on 4 fresh Goodyear tires, starting with the one of Joey Stats. As the laps continue to click on down for playoff race number 1, we have 25 laps to go here in this race, 24 at the line. So when we go back, green flag racing, it'll of course be 23. Don't worry, I can do some math at home in my head. So this time by, we'll see the field get ready to do battle here in these closing stages. We'll re-rack them, restack them, double file them on up, and see what kind of chaos we can have as side by side, always challenging around Darlington, no matter what stage of the race. As this time Bill Hull in that 41 Haas tooling machine will lead us to green flag. the second row on 4 fresh tires as well. So we'll keep an eye on that, see what they can do here, as we still have 17 cars out there on the lead lap. As the iRacing pace truck heads down pit road, we now wait for the 41 machine to jump on the loud pedal. We'll see what kind of restart the 04 machine can get on that top side, as those are cars on older tires. We go green flag racing, and Eric Jeffers will be side by side with Joey Stats heading into one. Brandon Fetterplace trying to get to the inside of the 04 as well. As it looks like everyone makes it off of turn number 2. Not quite though. Vernon Broadbeck into the wall. He gets the inside wall very hard after, so that's a tough break for another one of the playoff drivers, that being the 10 machine of Vernon Broadbeck. As we will have to look at the replay and see what happens. He's on the outside of the 14 and the 01 machine here, heading off of turn number 2. And almost contact before, but gets in the wall pretty heavily. The 01 was down below him after bouncing off, ricocheting off that outside wall. Nowhere to go. And then heavy contact to that inside wall. And we find ourselves back under caution. And not the way Vernon wanted. Playoff race number 1 to go for him. We'll go to commercial and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
We are back here at Darlington for the iNascar series presented by PRA. Tonight we have the round of 16 race number 1 here, as this field will on this restart be inside of 20 laps to go. These guys racing for a win, as well as trying to lock themselves in the playoffs. And of course, if you get it in the top 3, you'll be talking to me after the race, so these drivers all know what's at stake here as we approach the end of this race. We did not have any takers down pit road, so everyone's still on the same tires that we saw the whole field come on down and take. As I believe most of the drivers have probably taken all sets of tires. Maybe a few drivers have an extra set over the wall, but I would have to bet that most drivers have taken, if not all, but maybe one set here. As now, if you come into pits, folks, I think it's going to be a little too late to try and get through a lot of these cars with only 19 to go if it stays green to the end and it's only going be less laps. We see the field double file on up again. Still the same front row. Bill Hall leading us to green. Joey Stats starting to the outside. Row number 2 will be Eric Jeffers in the inside. Brandon Fetter placed to his outside. And row number 3 will be Jeff Brogdon and Vince Burns. As the field heads through 3 and 4 here, we'll wait for the iRacing pace truck to make the hard left-hand turn down pit road. Wait for the green flag and the 41-2 fire on off. The question is, will Joey Stats be side by side with Eric Jeffers going into 1? We'll find out right here on the start. We wait for the 41-2 fire on off. And we do just that here. We are back green flag racing right now. Eric Jeffers only side by side with Brandon Fetterplace as the field dives it down into turns 1 and 2. Most of the field behind them, though. Single filed on out. Brandon Fetterplace slides on into the back bumper of the 04. We'll try and cross him over, though, down the backstretch. Same for the race lead as Joey Stats sails it on in there down low. Tries the slide job, not able to clear it. Bill Hall will hang on to the race lead, but Joey right there on his back bumper. Eric Jeffers under fire from Brandon Fetterplace. Brandon able to get the spot, so he'll slide into P number 3 and set his sights on these race leaders here. Brandon Fetterplace, one of the few drivers up here for the playoff picture, but into the outside wall he goes off a 2. That will slow down the speed of that car. Same with the 55, I think, of Vince Burns as well. So you gotta see how that impacts the handling and the speed of that 114 machine. That time by Bill Hall ran the fastest lap of the session. So he is out there out front, not saving anything in that car. He knows it's go time here. As this time by at the start finish line, we'll see 15 laps to go. And with this 15 laps to go, I'm going to take a break from talking. I'll let the cars do the talking. We'll do some turn 3, turn it up here. Up front here, we got Joey Stats about 2/10 or 2 car lengths right behind our race leader, trying to keep that pressure on. Brandon Fetterplace trying to hang on to 3rd so far, kind of in his own little area. Vince Burns in 4th. Eric Jeffers has fallen back to 5th, but still the biggest mover of this race, even if he can hang on to these next couple spots. As up front, Joey Stats gets a big run. He looks to the inside of Bill Hall for the race lead. Bill backs on out of it and will try and do the crossover off of turn number 4. Joey will try and keep him behind him, and it looks like he will. So Joey Stats takes over the race lead here with 10 laps to go. We see 2 open palms from the flagman that time by, so these drivers trying to make it to the end as we see Philip Neese get around Josh Douglas, for P number 11. Also a little bit further up, Eric Jeffers losing another spot, this time to the 01 of Travis. As big time problems for Bill Hall. I think he got into the outside wall there in 3 and 4, lost a spot, maybe losing another here to the 55, and Travis Bennett right there as well. So Bill Hall goes from leading the race here in 2 laps to trying to fight for a top 5. And now Travis Bennett will have the run on the 55 machine as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Travis able to jump on the loud pedal a little bit earlier, able to clear himself. So Travis Bennett now in the top 5, right on the back bumper of the 41 machine down the front stretch. So Joey Stats has a little bit of a cushion to Brandon Fetterplace. Brandon probably going to try and drive his heart out to try and catch him and lock himself into the next round of the playoffs. As we see Travis Bennett now trying to make a move on Bill Hall here in 3 and 4. We saw him get the job done on the 55 machine last time, but not able to clear him. But the 41 struggling to put the power down. He's able to clear him. Now Vince Burns will try and go on the attack here into turn number 1. Yeah, that 41 Haas tooling machine struggling in the handling department here late in this race. Definitely got those tires hot, and I think some damage as well, because he is dropping like a rock here late. As we'll keep an eye on this, as this is one of the closest battles on track here for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Another good battle is the next pack behind this, being led by Nick Wing in that 99 machine. Finds himself in the top 10 here, up a whopping 12 positions, but under fire from the 22 of Paul Henley. Paul will look to the inside here in 3 and 4. Dylan Schultz had a very tough early race, but he finds himself back in the lead lap. Now back in the top 5 here with 5 laps to go. He's able to get around the 22 there, and he's continuing to charge to the front. So what a rebound for that 97 team here. But up front, we are under 5 laps to go. This time by will be 4 laps to go for Joey Stats. He's been faster the last couple of times by than Brandon Fetterplace. So that time by he was 2/10 quicker. So Joey Stats looking very good here. He just has to put that thing in autopilot, not put that thing in the wall or anything like that, as we continue to look at this battle. For 5th place on track, Bill Hall now trying to look to get around Eric Jeffers. It's going to be a tall ask here as Eric Jeffers almost puts that thing in the wall here in 3 and 4. And with Bill Hall, being a little timid on the throttle with the car right in front of him, that could open up the door for the 15 machine of Clark France. He can take it easy on corner entry. Oh, it's contact. They somehow keep it straight, but Bill Hall almost gets turned by the 15 machine, so they got some contact. But even with that, Bill Hall looks to the inside of Eric Jeffers, as this time by popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 laps to go around this place. We'll keep an eye on this battle here as it continues to heat on up with these 3 cars. Eric Jeffers just hanging on as much as he can, but Bill Hall is trying to do the same with Clark, just trying to look for an opening with these 2. This time by at the start finish line, we see the white flag for the one of Joey Stats. He'll have to navigate these corners one last time. We are racing to the checker now, as we won't get another yellow, as now Clark France will get around the 41 of Bill Hall for 6th. The question is, can he get around the 04 machine? He'll have one last chance, but we look at the race leader heading through 3 and 4 for the final time. Joey Stats will get the job done for playoff race number 1. He will pick up the win. Brandon Fetter Place will finish in second. Travis Bennett will round out the podium positions, and we'll be talking to all 3 drivers after the race. So don't go anywhere, folks. We will let the one machine do some burnouts for his fans out at home, and then we'll be back on the other side with some driver interviews. Don't go anywhere.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here at Darlington, and we'll try and dial up our 3rd place finisher, that being the 01 machine of Travis Bennett here. We'll get him in, of course, right about now. Travis, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Brett, what's happening, man?
Oh, man. How was your car tonight? It seemed like you had a pretty up and down night. It seemed like at the start, I think you had to start at the back, so maybe we'll start there. And what was kind of the game plan going into tonight, especially with it being playoff race number 1?
Yeah, the game plan was to actually just try to race respectful around these guys that are in points. You know, that's the last thing I want to do is mess up somebody's championship run. So I wasn't too confident at first time in the car at this track, so I just wanted to get a feel for it before I tried to make any moves, you know?
Wow, Travis. Well, that last sentence, speaks volumes. Your first time at this car track combo. I mean, this track is one of the trickiest in real life and on iRacing. So for you to come home in the 3rd position, you got to give yourself a big pat on the back. I mean, I got to ask, what were you figuring out as this race went on? Because at the end, you definitely had some really good speed in this PRA 01 machine.
Yeah, man, I tell you, I was just trying to track tire wear. At the beginning of the race, you're wearing out the right rear more than the right front. Towards the middle of the race, it's the opposite. And for some reason, that last run, I started getting loose again, and the car felt perfect. Had really good tire strategy. I think the first caution I stayed out, safe to set, and for once it worked out for me.
Yeah, Travis, heck of a run by you here tonight. So, yeah, I'm looking at the playoff picture. I don't believe you're in it. So, like you said, I think your game plan, is going through the playoffs. Of course, trying to get some wins here, and of course, podiums talking with me in the booth afterwards. But sounds like racing the other guys respectfully as they go for a championship, let's say.
Absolutely, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you.
Yep. So, Travis, before we let you go and celebrate this podium position, I'll hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank for this 01 team here tonight.
Oh, man, yeah, I just want to thank PRA and the guys that run this league. We all know it's hard to run a league and have a family life at the same time, and it definitely is much appreciated.
Alrighty, well, awesome stuff, Travis. You have yourself a great rest of the night, and hopefully we'll be talking to you some more as the season goes on. Once again, congratulations on the 3rd place.
Thanks a lot, man.
Alrighty, that was the 01 machine, our 3rd place finisher of Travis Bennett. Now we'll dial up our second place finisher, that being Brandon Fetterplace. Brandon, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Hey, how's it going, Jet?
Oh, pretty good. How about yourself, Brandon? How was the car tonight? And it seemed like you had a lot of speed in it.
Yeah, car felt fine. I mean, I just kind of overdrove it, I think. Those guys were a little bit better at saving tires than I was, and it showed.
Yeah, Brandon. We'll dive a little bit earlier in the race. So you get in that incident, smacked the wall big time, and I assume had to use the fast repair, but able to bounce back. What was kind of going through your mind after getting that inside wall and probably like, hey, we got to bring it down pit right now?
To be honest with you, I was just trying to coach myself to not panic. I mean, I was leading the race, made a slight mistake, ended up in the fence, got run over by the 14, and I was just trying not to panic. It was still a long race. Had to keep reminding myself to stay relaxed, make repairs to the car, and get back out there and keep digging.
Yeah, that's definitely the name of the game, especially with this playoff and playoff format. Speaking about that, Brandon, you're the best finisher of the playoff drivers, so hopefully that, I know it doesn't lock you into the next round or anything, but hopefully that brings you a little bit of comfort and maybe what's the plan for the playoffs looking forward.
Unfortunately, it's good for today, but it doesn't really ease the nerves at all. We still got a long season to go. We still got many more races where anything can happen. So we'll just see. We'll keep trying to rack them up and see where the cards fall.
Yep, that's always what you got to do. Well, you did pretty good for tonight talking with me in the booth. Always a good sign after the race. But, Brandon, before we let you go and celebrate this runner-up finish, I'll hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank for this 114 car here tonight.
First and foremost, I just want to thank the fans, thank everyone that comes and watches the broadcast. My friends, family, people who are rooting on the other drivers, just the fans in general. It's great to see the comments and, see the views. I want to thank Bang Energy for being on the car. Thank PRA. Thank, the series for putting on these great races. And, it's as always, it's always great to talk to you, man.
Alrighty, awesome stuff, Brandon. Well, I'm sure we'll be talking to you again, as that 114 machine seems to always be fast wherever we go to. So you have yourself a great rest of the night, and see you again in the future.
Yes, sir. Hopefully I'll be talking to you real soon.
Alrighty, folks, that was our second place finisher, Brandon Fetterplace in the 114 machine. Comes up one spot short, but now we'll head down to Victory Lane and talk to the man of the hour, that being Joey Stats in the one machine. All right, we are down here in Victory Lane. Joey, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, buddy, I got you.
All righty, man. Well, first and foremost, want to congratulate you on the race win tonight. How was this one car? Man, what a tricky track this Darlington is.
Yeah, the car was pretty good. It didn't get too loose there very much or tight. Seemed like the real difficult part of the track for me was coming off of 2, though, trying to hit the corner right.
Yeah, that seemed to be the big struggle spot. The most incidents tonight came off of turn number 2, as yeah, that track just gets so tight there with everyone being on the throttle by that point, and you're kind of along for the ride. So, Joey, kind of going through your night, a little bit up and down, but most of the night you were up near the front, and at the end there, getting that pass done on the 41 machine. How'd you kind of set them up, and how were you able to sail it in there into 3 and able to clear yourself?
That was kind of the move I've been trying to do about all night on people. Just set them up and then into 3, just shove it in there, go down the flat, drift up in front of them, and hopefully you're clear. If not, you're going into the wall. But I was able to clear him and set sail.
Yeah, it was definitely a pretty perfect pass in my books to get the job done and most importantly get tonight's win. Sadly, Joey, not in the playoffs, so it doesn't lock you in. So maybe I'll ask you, what's your game plan continuing on with the season?
This right here, it's win or nothing.
All righty, love the mentality there. Going out there for those W's. And Joey, before we let you go and celebrate down in victory lane here tonight for playoff race number 1, I'll hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank for this one car to make that thing so fast.
Well, first I'd like to thank you again for broadcasting us. RS Button Boxes, one of our sponsors, Prodigy Racing Association, and Butt Kicker as well. So thank those guys for coming on board and sponsoring the series so we can do what we want to.
Alrighty, Joey. Well, congratulations again on this race victory. Just shows how much speed you have in it, especially at a tricky technical track like this. Shows how much skill you got behind the wheel, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you some more here in the future. So, Joey, have yourself a great rest of the night, and I'll be back down to celebrating victory lane once I wrap up here in the booth.
All right, man. Thank you.
Alrighty, folks. That was our race winner, the one machine of Joey Stats, getting the job done for race number 1 of the playoffs for the iNascar series presented by PRA. So we had a great night of racing to wrap up the first race of the round of 16. We'll run through tonight's finishing order here on screen. Joey Stats able to get the job done in the one machine will pick home the win. Second place will go to Brandon Fetterplace, the best finishing playoff driver. Third will be Travis Bennett in the 01 machine. Fourth goes to Vince Burns in the 55, and rounding out the top 5, a solid effort by the 04 machine of Eric Jeffers. Sixth goes to Clark France in the 15. Seventh is Bill Hull in the 41. The 99 of Nick Wing will finish 8th. Ninth goes to Dylan Schultz in the 97. And rounding out the top 10 will be Paul Henley in the 22. 11th is Philip Neese in the 038 machine. 12th is Josh Douglas in the 8th. The 79 machine of Scott Thomas will finish 13th. 14th is Jeff Brogdon in the 14 machine. The 28 of Jeff Vickery finishes in 15th. 16th goes to Zach Miller. 17th is Matt Allen. 18th is Richard Mills. 19th goes to Vernon Broadbeck. 20th is Dan Jensen. 21st is Mr. Castillo. 22nd is Cody Schultz. 23rd is Corey Stahl. 24th is Dan Hughes. And rounding out the field tonight is Shane Ledoux. So, folks, that does it for playoff race number 1 for the iNascar series. Be sure to check out PRA if you're looking for that awesome online community in the PlayStation and iRacing Network. Also, be sure to check out RS Bum Boxes or Butt Kicker if you're looking to upgrade your setup to the next level. Be sure if you want to join the race in action, be sure to check out iNascar on the league pages as well as join their Facebook or Discord and find out some more information. These guys are running on Thursday nights following the Cup schedule. So if that sounds intriguing to you, be sure to look on into them. I've, of course, been Brett the Jeff from Turn 3 Racing Network. Be sure to tune in to Turn 3 Racing Network throughout the week for all your racing needs. We got a variety of cars and tracks to be broadcasted. And I tell you what, it's some awesome racing. Got to, of course, shout out to all the live viewers out there tuning on in tonight, as well as all the replay viewers. Also, all the drivers out on track, the league admins here at the iNascar series to put on another phenomenal broadcast. So everyone, stay safe, have a good one, and we'll catch you later. And remember, folks, I have been Brett the Jet. Just flew by you. Have a good one.